Boys A, and we back with another OPL show, Official Site Fashion, and you know who I'm with again, man.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Zion tapping in with yet another episode of the Official Site Fashion Show, and I got my boy Sayer with me.
Hey, what's going on, OPF fam? I'm just wanted to say I'm happy to be back and wanting to give y'all great content.
Yes, what's up, bro? And today we bring to another dope young creative and entrepreneur. And today, man, we got a model in the house. We got some feminine energy in the house. We got Miss Lena Stephanos. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for coming through and tapping in with us.
We appreciate you.
Most definitely. How you feeling?
I'm good.
I'm good. That's good. So,
Yeah, I'm excited.
man, I met Lena at the Mania Runway show. So, like, what was that experience like for you?
It was a great experience. I always love being around like Atlanta creatives. I feel like everybody here is just so supportive and everybody just wants to see each other win. So that's what the environment gave. It was a good time.
Most definitely. So let me start with this. Do you feel like women get the respect they deserve in Atlanta as creatives and entrepreneurs?
I mean, I think it's definitely getting better. I'd say like some things that could be better are like paying models, paying creatives, seeing the value in creative directors, seeing the value in just like feminine energy in creative spaces. So that, but I mean, I work with a lot of female creatives, and you know, to me, they're well respected in the spaces
Most
that I've
definitely.
been in.
Most definitely. So, you know, like a lot of people want opportunity to come to them, but really you got to get out here like on your own. So you got the social proof, you got the following. We all see that. So what's one piece of advice can you give somebody that, you know, how can they create that doorway for like themselves?
I definitely say don't be afraid to reach out to people. I feel like a lot of times like people are just so cocky and they feel like everything should come to them. Like you were saying, you gotta really
Most
like
definitely.
push that door in. Like if you want to be a model, you need to reach out to different photographers. If you want to do music, you need to reach out to different engineers and producers. Like nothing just comes to you. You gotta put the work in. So
Most definitely. You got to network. So like networking in Atlanta. So what was your start within, say, modeling, just creating in general? What was the first thing you consider yourself a creative or putting yourself out there?
I'd say I think like last May I got approached by Certified on Instagram. He's a photographer. He does like a lot of shoots in Atlanta, and he just reached out to me and was like, you know, I want to shoot with you. I think you're dope, and he made me feel really comfortable. And you know, I like that. That's what I've always wanted to do. I wanted to do shoots. I wanted to do stuff like that. So that was really my start. And then after that, it just
Most definitely.
Yeah, man. I see you have your own like stylist page too, right? So what made you get into like the styling people?
I just love clothes. Like I love clothes. Like I
Sure.
get dressed up for everything. So like a lot of my friends, like we help each other out and they ask me like style advice and stuff like that. And I just always wanted to like help people with their style, because I think having style is like a lot of people can afford like nice clothes.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take that much to put pieces together.
Most
So
definitely.
I've always known how to like put an outfit together for less, and I feel like, you know, a lot of people need that kind of like sense of style. So I
Most
feel like I
definitely.
provide that. So
So in the state of fashion right now, do you think fits are more dictated based off like the cost of the items they wear or like the true curation?
I don't think it is anymore. I think people realize like you just have to have a sense of style to put something together, because a lot of the times like people don't even know like how much a fit costs by looking at it.
Exactly.
So they just know it's hard. They're gonna say it's hard.
True.
Sure.
Most definitely. So when you style people, like how do you want them to feel when they leave your presence? Like, man, I just got styled by Lena. Like, how do you want
I
them
want
to feel?
them to feel confident. I want
For
them
sure.
to go flick up. I want them to go be seen, just be everywhere, just be confident. So.
Is
Period.
that how y'all feel when y'all get styled by Lena? For all the people in the background.
They
so
don't need my styling. They know how to dress.
Wait, before we move from that styling topic, can you tell the people how much you would charge them if they want a specific
Well, right now I just like solidified my services. So for virtual styling, I put like a look together, and it's like 10 different looks, and it's really accustomed to you and what your day-to-day life looks like. So, you know, I provide links, I provide everything. If you need like all that, it's all in that lookbook. So I'd only charge like $60 for right now.
Okay.
And then for personal styling, like personal shopping, all that in-person stuff, you could DM me to find out. 'Cause that's
dope.
it just depends on the client. and
So
what
let's
they need.
backtrack a little. So if we asked a young Lena what she wanted to be, what would she have told us?
I would have said just a successful fashion designer and a supermodel. So
So
everything
you
that I'm working to do. I've always wanted to do this. Like,
What
literally.
inspired you? Like, was it someone growing up, or you seen something at a young age? Like,
Yeah.
what was it?
When I was 6, I used to watch like Project Runway,
Mm.
America's Got Talent. Oh, not America's Got Talent. America's
Next Top Model?
Yeah, Next Top Models. And I was like, oh my God, like they're competing, but they like, it's like a lot of pressure, but they look happy, like they love what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I just started sewing like dresses and stuff for my dolls and stuff like that. And it's just something I've always wanted to do, and
For sure.
that was the source of inspiration.
Most definitely. So let's backtrack on the social media part, right? So you have a lot of social media following, and you know people like so people always say you gotta follow the trend to get more followers. But man, sometimes I feel like you can get lost in the trend sense of like your identity wise. You just going with the trend. So how do you stay relevant on what you're trying to show people?
I don't know. I think I just post what I like. I just post what I want. I feel like people value authenticity nowadays. It's not really about like, well, I mean, it just depends what you're trying to do. I think if you have a niche and you're trying to like blow up, let's say on TikTok or on Instagram, you need to cater to your niche,
Most
not
definitely.
necessarily what's like trendy overall. You know, so if you're into fashion or if you're into photography, you just need to like you know the TikTok trends that come up, like relate it to your content, and then it just ties together. But other than that, I just like try to do what I like. And if they like it, they like it. If they don't,
For sure.
I don't really care.
Like, do you think it's
Kanye Tommy. So how would you define feminine energy?
Feminine energy. I think feminine energy is just being confident, but also being graceful. You know, just being graceful.
For sure.
And yeah, that's how.
I feel like you have a lot of feminine energy.
Okay, thank you.
So do you feel like your feminine energy like helps you as a creative, and like if so, in what ways?
I think it does. I think people just like to be around positive feminine energy, so I try to exude that. So yeah.
For sure. So as an influencer and a model, do you ever feel like a push and pull between like presenting yourself in a professional way, like you always fly right, but do you feel like a contrast to present yourself in a way like when you just comfortable, say when you chilling in some sweatpants with a tank top on?
Yeah.
How do you balance
definitely.
that? That's my question, I would say.
I mean, I always try to go into every space very professionally, and I kind of feel out what the other creatives are on. So if somebody's more like chill, if they're more like they know how to keep a conversation, I feel like I can be more myself. But if it's like yesterday, I did a shoot for Nike, actually.
Really?
Nike.
That's dope.
And it was dope. So I felt like that setting was more professional and more like, okay, we're here to do a job and then we're here to go, which is cool. But you know, when I'm working with like different like creatives that just want to make like editorial shoots or just something cool to look at, like I feel like I can be more myself, you know, give an opinion and stuff like that. So it just depends on the space and who I'm around.
Most definitely. And I didn't even realize when it comes to like promotions and stuff like that, I didn't know like it was so like lucrative. So I don't know if you do it, but it was so like, how can somebody get into it and, you know,
Like promoting themselves?
like promotion as in like somebody hit you with like, hey, can you give me a shout out, and then you usually like charge people, like do you do that? Or
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, I used to think like you need to have like at least 100 or 200,000 followers to
too.
do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Really, like if you have a good engagement and somebody sees that like people are like engaging with your content regularly, like you could charge a lot, and you could charge whatever you think you're worth. It's all about what you think you're worth. It's really not about like the following nowadays. Yeah.
So how much you charge? You know, because my mommy asked me.
It just depends, honestly. It depends on the post. It depends on the story. Like, I usually, I don't know. It's ranged. Like, it ranges from like I've done like just temporary story posts for like 50, and then I've done stuff for like 300, 400. So it just depends on the brand too, because a lot of people would try to undercharge you.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't need that much. Like they just need a post, you know. And it depends on the time and effort you're putting into the content as well. So
Most definitely.
yeah.
So go ahead, bro.
Like, so how long have you been like modeling? Like, what year did you start?
I started last year, so it's almost, I guess, like a year and a half. And I've just been consistent ever since. I think like it's been really consistent these past like 6 months. I was just kind of getting a feel of it before then, and I was still in high school, so it was like I was trying to like balance school.
So are you going to college?
Yes, I'm at Georgia State right now.
Where do you go to, like, what do you major in?
Marketing.
That makes sense.
Go.
So do you see yourself like, so as a market, so you would just market yourself, right? You wouldn't try to get a job in marketing, or do you see yourself getting a 9-to-5 job?
Hopefully not. I mean, that's not what I
Nobody
want.
wanna do that shit.
It's not that it's a bad thing. It's just not what I want for myself. I feel like I've always had a very like entrepreneur mindset, and I'm always like finding ways to just work for myself, do it on my own. But it's for me, it's more of like a safety net, and I feel like marketing is a great major to have, especially like you could do so much within that.
Yeah.
That what's the word? Degree.
Yeah, most definitely. So, as a female on like social media, do you feel like it's easier to grow your following or harder because it could be more saturated? Because some people say like all a female has to do is take off their clothes or pose a certain way.
I don't think
But
so.
like, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I don't think it's as easy as people make it seem. I think like it just depends, like, because I be seeing people that blow up just because of who they're around. So if they're around people that have a following, then it just comes to them. And then I seen people that have like amazing content, like 10 out of 10, and it's just slower for them. So I don't think you like just got to take your clothes off and it's just 100K followers. Like, it's not like that.
Most definitely.
Okay, as brought up earlier, we met you at the Mania Runway show. Shout out to Yao and
Moni,
Shout out
most
to
definitely.
I just want to know, as a model, that takes a specific amount of confidence. You know, I just been dabbling with that over time, and that deals with confidence and really self-confidence, and you got to block out insecurities. How do you go out there and go on those runway shows and just be you?
That's a good question. I feel like if you like it enough, it's just gonna come naturally. Like, you gotta really love what you're doing, and it's nerve-wracking. When I did my first like runway show, I was about to pee myself. I was so nervous. I was like, oh my god, I can't do this. But it's like, it goes by so fast. Like, that whole like stress and all that before it, it's like it goes away as soon as you get out there. So,
For real.
yeah, it's just, you gotta like it. You gotta.
So
really
like,
like it.
compare your first one to your last runway show. What was your mindset going into the first one, and what was your mindset going into your latest one?
My mindset for the first one, I'd say maybe my preparation was like what was at fault, because I was rushing. I was like just trying to get there on time and all that. And when you got all that going on, especially like driving in Atlanta,
Most definitely.
it's
You miss
just,
an
like, a
exit,
lot.
that's 15 minutes.
Like, it's a lot. So just like even trying to make it on time, and then like the location was really nice, but they wanted us to walk on. You remember when they wanted us to walk on this like water fountain railing? So I like, if I literally tripped, I could have fell in water in front of
that's
like
crazy.
200 people. So I was like it was just a lot of factors. So I would say like for this recent one with Yao, it was great because I like was on time. I was feeling good. I like all the people that were there. I recognized the people there. So it depends on the time and the space.
And what do you think makes a good fashion show? Because like, that was my first fashion show, the Mania, and that like set my expectations high.
And it was super dope.
Right?
Yeah.
It was dope.
Everybody looked beautiful.
So what do you think
it's
makes a
great.
good fashion show?
Just being punctual, having a positive space, and just having like good energy, like people with good energy. I
Most
don't
definitely.
think it takes much, and having like a good like front row audience too. Like I noticed some of the people there, and they were like creatives, and I felt like, oh, okay, like I'm somewhere. I felt welcomed. I felt like I knew who was gonna be there, and it was cool. So yeah, I think
I have a question. Do you feel like modeling in a sense is creating?
yes, I think it is. I think you have to be able to like put on, not necessarily like a character, but you got to put on that mode, and you got to whatever the photographer, the brand needs from you, you got to exude that. So it's kind of like, it's like an art form, I think. And it, especially if you do like editorial shoots, so more like cool concept shoots, like stuff you never seen, is definitely like a whole art form.
For sure.
I
Yeah.
love that take.
So to dive back into social media, it seems like you put a lot of effort into your Instagram posts.
I do.
So when someone looks at your Instagram, what do you want them to think?
I just want them to think that she's cool, like that she's cool as hell, like
Most definitely.
yeah. I be like, because you can't put too much thought into everything, because you want to be consistent. You want to like, okay, I gotta get this out. But
We was
I
just
want
talking about that.
Yeah,
before we
you
came
gotta
here.
be able to like post. You know, I can't overthink every post, but I just want them to be like, oh wow, like she has a good page. I want my page to be like my portfolio. So
Most
No,
definitely.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Have been a post where like you was kind of anxious, like it's probably not gonna get as many likes, but then it ended up blowing up for you.
I did a shoot for Splurjet. They're a brand in Atlanta. And
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, their stuff is dope. And like my friend Harrison was just taking like pictures of me, and I was overthinking the pictures. I was like, I don't think it's cute. Like I'm usually always on the phone with them. Like, should I post it? Should I not post it? But that one did the best on my page, so it goes to show like what you might not think is all that, like other people would love.
Okay. So what do you think is your best feature, and it doesn't have to be physical?
My best feature?
Yes.
I'd hope it's my personality. I feel like I'm like, I don't know, I'm a good friend, and I'm personable. Like I'm not like, even though people say I look unapproachable, I feel like I'm not unapproachable at all. So
You might intimidate people.
I hope not, but
I mean,
feel
like
it's my.
When you see a woman out from a certain stature, like you start questioning yourself. Like, was she talking to me, or is she Hollywood? Like, you might think those
I
things.
understand that. Yeah, it goes for guys too, though. I feel like some guys are really standoffish. So I'm like, oh, okay, but I'd hope it's my personality.
Do you feel like young people know how to talk to people these days? Since like we're so
don't think
engaged
so.
online.
No, I really don't think so. Cause I be seeing people from Instagram in person, and they don't
Y'all just
say
staring at
nothing.
each other.
I be like, what the heck? Or they just be like, so. But I understand, like, especially with COVID, I feel like people had a hard time really like being personable.
For sure.
So,
What did COVID do for you as a young creative entrepreneur?
COVID, I was like 15, 16.
Then like you was 15.
That was 3 years ago.
Yeah, I was 15.
Almost 3 years ago.
Almost.
I was like
Almost.
2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
I was like 15 going on 16, so I was just really, I'm not gonna lie, I wish I went as hard as other people did. Like people's businesses blew up, people were like going crazy, but I was like just on TikTok before like people really knew about TikTok, so I used to get like a couple like views on some videos, like a couple of them hit like 100,000, 200,000 likes, but that was just me doing my hair. Like it was
How'd that
fun.
make you feel when you saw
I
that?
was like, oh my gosh, finally. Like,
made it.
somebody is catching on.
Yeah.
But that was, I wish I had like been consistent with it, because I feel like that could have been
All
really good. Mm-hmm.
Okay, Lena, so we got a segment called the OPS segment. It's like an acronym for our show, Official Side Fashion.
Okay.
So the first one is O. It stands for, like, what's something official you feel like more people should know about? It could be a person, place, a thing, a term, anything. You just feel like people overlook or don't know about.
And it starts with the O?
Yeah, it doesn't have to start with the O. It just has to be official.
Okay. That people overlook. What do people overlook? I don't even know. Maybe the value in creative directors on sets and stuff like
Okay,
that.
I heard you say that earlier.
Yeah, because the day before, it was yesterday. It was my first time working with like a real creative director, and she was helping me with poses and just like helping me with the whole setup. And I just feel like that's so important, because I don't see like a lot of people with like strong creative directors. So yeah, that's overlooked.
Most definitely. And then on to the next one, the P is the psyche, as in like your psychological mindset. If you could give mindset advice to anyone listening, what would you say?
I would say to work as hard as you can while you're young, because you got the energy and the time, and don't overthink everything. Like I feel like we're in a generation where everything is just in a microscope. Like everybody's always picking at you, or you're always picking at yourself. Just live, go with the flow, have fun, and be yourself.
Most definitely. And then the fashion, of course, the last one. So if you could describe your style in 3 or less words, what would you say?
I would just say ahead of its time.
That's the first time someone said that.
And rate your drip 1 through 10.
My drip 1 to 10.
Yeah.
It gotta
I
be
feel
a
like
10.
today it's a cool 9.5. I wish I could have had more jewelry, but it's a cool 9.
So like, what inspired this fit? It's giving like Catwoman vibes.
Okay, that's what.
For sure.
That I guess. I made these pants like right before I came. So I
you
was
made them
trying
yourself?
Yeah, like they're just stacked like leather pants.
see.
But
Yeah,
I was
that's
just
hard.
trying to give like professional, but like, she knows how to dress too.
Most
Yeah,
definitely.
that's what I was trying to
So I want to thank you for coming on the Official
Thank
Side
you for
Fashion Show,
having
giving
me.
your
Yeah,
perspective.
thank you.
And like, what can we expect from you in the future? Say 5 years from now, we tap back in with you. Where do you want to see yourself? What's Lena doing?
I want to see myself being a very successful content creator. I want to have multiple businesses, working on my empire. Really just like settled in my own space where I just want to be happy and successful in everything I do.
Most definitely. If you guys want to add anything for the people?
Nah, man, y'all just go check her out on the stylist page if y'all need some drip for all the ladies and fellas, right?
So brand coming soon too.
So Style by Stephanos, Lena Stephanos on Instagram.
Yep.
What's the TikTok?
Lena Stephanos.
Y'all be sure to tap in
Lena
with her.
Stephanos.
Thank you, Official Site Fashion out.
Thank you.
Peace.
That was dope.
That was good.
Yeah.